Hello, my name is Maxim Zuyev. It's me in the picture. The Axioma company. It's our logo. We build the management systems for agribusiness, and now I want to share our experience with you. Today, the automated business management systems are widespread in the manufacture and trade companies. They include the bookkeeping, the salary calculation, the task management, the KPI, the hardware integration, etc. Now, the enterprise automated management system serves as a business nervous system. If the system is okay, the company can work by itself and the owner can leave for a vacation. Building such a system in agribusiness is much harder than building a system for a plant or a trade company, and there are several reasons for it. The first one is the staff qualification in agriculture. The second one is geography. The fields are distant from the central office. The third are the problems with the telephone communications, internet, GPS. And the fourth is innovation hostility of the staff, because these innovations are often implemented in order to prevent theft and fraud. So what makes the owner invest in new harvesters, tractors and other machines and avoid investing in the automated management system? The answer is here. The owner invests in the simple and clear things. For example, a 2 million hryvnia worth harvester. He had 2 millions and now he has a harvester. Here it is now. You can touch it. You can see how much grain it harvested, how it returns investments. And the result of the automated management system is immaterial. How can you measure this in material essence? And so we can see that a combine operator that operates a 2 million worth harvester, a driver that drives a million watt tractor, a chief engineer that buys $500,000 spare parts kit, a chief agronomist that brings a $1 million contract on fertilizer supply, a warehouse manager that is responsible for those fertilizers safekeeping, a storekeeper that delivers these fertilizers off the warehouse, a tank truck that brings 100,000 worth fuel to the field. All of them are not linked with each other. The agribusiness lacks such a nervous system. So agribusiness is altogether the agriculture and the nervous system, the business management system. If the business has no nervous system, the employees' actions are unsystematic. These actions often head to the opposite sides. The employees transfer their tasks and responsibility within themselves, if these tasks and responsibility are not strictly defined. Why does it happen? Just because the owner didn't build the management system some time ago. So the owner becomes the hero of the company, as he solves the everyday problems. He passes through his fields, gives instructions, imposes penalties, thus playing a role of a fireman. How to build a nervous system? We need to create the corporate information space that unites technology, employees, machines, warehouses, GPS, computers, tablets and phones, fields, finance, fuel, and fertilizers. We help to build such systems for the agribusiness. What are the basic elements of the agribusiness management system? These are the plan of operations and the daily report. The software developers surprisingly ignore the plan of operations and the daily report. Some of them publish software for account management, some publish GPS, some publish use of fertilizers calculation. But these are the details. The owner needs to see the overall system. Look at the plan of operations. The agricultural companies work out the plans of operations for the next season in November or December. Usually, these are the crop plans of operations. Some companies, but only some, work out not only the crop plans of operations, but also the field plans of operations. And then the season starts. The actual progress of operations always differs from the plan. Some operations are cancelled, some are transferred to the other date, some are replaced, and some are just partially fulfilled. So we need to make the plan of operations real, make it alive. This task requires working with the plan of operations and the actual list of operations. The plan of operations is affirmed before the start of a season, and the actual list of operations is added daily. The actual list of operations is based on the daily report. All the daily reports of the season collected together make up the actual list of operations. The actual list of operations contains the direct expenses separately, fuel, fertilizers, and salary, and the total expense of the season. The actual list of operations on a certain field displays the current cost of the crop on this field. The total costs of crops on the fields make up the total costs of the crops. So we can see the current cost of corn, wheat, or soybean, and we see it daily. And can we calculate the forecast cost of the crop for the end of the season? Sure we can. And we need the dynamic list of operations. The dynamic list of operations contains the actual list of operations as well as the remaining part of the plan of operations. So the total cost in the dynamic list of operations displays the forecast cost for the end of the season, the forecast cost on every crop and on every field. The dynamic list of operations is based on the daily replacement of the planned operations with the actually fulfilled operations. The lines in the actual part of the dynamic list of operations contain the data of the daily reports, and the lines in the plan part of the dynamic list of operations contain the job tasks. So, using the scheduled job tasks from the plan of operations, we can manage the field works in real time and avoid fulfilling the unplanned operations in emergency mode. Sometimes it happens that here comes the chief agronomist and calls that in order to save the crops, we need to use this or that fertilizer just tomorrow. Otherwise, the crop to be lost.
Пропало все.
Emergency mode is the best condition for a theft or fraud. So, each operation must be firstly implemented into the plan of operations, then affirmed and then fulfilled. The job tasks can be transferred from the management system into the employees' phones, and the employees have to confirm the receipt of job tasks and make the reports on task fulfillment on their phones. These are the rules of the decent management in agribusiness. Now let's look at the daily report. The daily report is the main primary document in agribusiness. Also, the account managers think vice versa. Think by yourselves whether it is possible to manage your agribusiness having only the accounting data. For example, ask the chief account manager about the current cost of the corn crop. And even more simple, how much fuel was spent on the field works in the field number 26 during the last week. The account manager will be very slow to answer a question. And this is just because the data on the actual field works is usually delivered to the account software in 2, 3, or 4 weeks, according to the primary document's creation terms. And can you manage your business having only the 2-week-old data? It's just like driving forward a car with a covered windshield looking into the rear-view mirror. That's why the accounting in agribusiness is to be held on the basis of the daily reports that contain all the data on fieldworks. If we consider the daily report to be the primary document, then we don't need to wait the account managers to collect the traditional documents, the tractor driver sheets, the active materials used, etc. Moreover, the calculation of the salary, the fuel consumption, and the use of fertilizers are to be based on the daily reports. Why? If you calculate all the data of the daily reports of the month and the data of the traditional documents of the month, you should see the equality. That's absolutely correct. But the agribusiness experience in our country displays the difference of those techniques. The difference is that the total amount in the traditional account will exceed the total amount in the daily reports by 20 to 30%. And here is the theft. During the way from the field to the office, the real data on the field works becomes the fake data. Some employees fill the primary documents with the fake data. They know the cultivation of 60 hectares, while the daily report displays only 40 hectares having been cultivated. They know the use of 100 liters of fertilizer, despite the actual use of only 50 liters. The time is the best ally of such a fraud. If a month later we'll want to check out whether there was a use of 50 or 100 liters, we'll have no any way to reveal the truth. That's why we need to get the actual data immediately via the daily report. This will save finance. Such systems have many other features, for example the agronomist report. An agronomist makes this electronic report on his phone, right in the field, every time he visits the field. He specifies the place, date and time, rates the young growth, notes the plant diseases, and attaches the photo report. The agronomist report helps to walk around the problem area and fix its coordinates in order to initiate a procedure of inserting the necessary new fieldwork into the plan of operations. So, this is the right way of making decisions of the unplanned fieldworks because it's based on the reliable information, not the loud calls of the frauds. These features, and many other features, are contained in the Agronomika, the software for agribusiness. It unites the experience of the leading agricultural companies which invited us to build the management systems together. The implementation of Agronomika in the agricultural company is similar to the GPS implementation. Some employees stay hostile to the innovations. That's why we offer two ways of working with Agronomika. Agronomika as a product and Agronomika as a service. Agronomika as a product is positioned for the big agribusiness companies with a big land bank. Such companies usually suffer a powerful staff resistance, and so they buy a software and invite us for the implementation project. In this case, we are usually more successful implementing a product because we don't take part in the fraud and theft. The cost of Agronomika is $10,000. The cost of a project is calculated individually. Agronomika as a service is positioned for the small and middle agribusiness companies. In this case, we help the owner to build the system of account based on the real data from the fields, not the traditional primary documents. Our specialists work in the remote mode, giving the owner the daily reports from the fields, the reports on suspicious events, etc. So the owner gets the possibility to compare the data in the account documents and the field reports. The cost of a service is 5 hryvnias per hectare per month. Here are the contacts of the Agronomika department of our company. We can perform for you a more detailed presentation via Skype or in a meeting. This was the first hour video on the agribusiness management systems. Subscribe to our channel. We continue sharing video on our software for agribusiness. I wish you all a new successful season. See you!